matter how many final girls have tried, no matter how many logs to the head, unstable chairs, sweater manipulation, and attempted vehicular 187s, Jason Voorhees just keeps popping up to prowl Crystal Lake anew. Except Friday the 13th, the final chapter, threatened to put him in the ground for good. Releasing as the golden age of slashers drew to a close, the final chapter saw Voorhees slain by young Tommy Jarvis. 1985's Friday the 13th, A New Beginning marked a pivotal crossroads for the franchise. The second entry in what would become known as the Tommy Jarvis trilogy marked a strange outlier, offering a sleazy whodunnit that attempted to change the flight of this series completely.
Jason Voorhees. I can't believe this!
But here's something that maybe a lot of you aren't ready for. This movie right here is one of the best of the entire Friday franchise. This is like a top 3 contender. In fact, if one were to say that this is the best movie, it wouldn't be that crazy of a thing to say. This movie's great. Let's talk about it. And if you're new here, please make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy yourself. We got tacos, egg rolls, pizzas, whatever you need.
You want a taco? Egg roll? What about a slice of pizza?
Thank you.
Cheese and sausage?
Part 1, Resurrecting the Series.
It would be very interesting to peek inside the heads of the people who were in charge at Paramount during the mid-1980s. For better or for worse, the Friday the 13th series was among the studio's biggest and most consistent moneymakers during the first half of the decade. Why then would they do something like publicly announce the demise of the series, especially in as attention-getting a manner as a title like Friday the 13th, the final chapter?
The sickest thing is, this isn't the final chapter, that's just an advertising gimmick. The ending clearly sets up a sequel, and what I want to know is, I wonder if they're going to be heartless and cynical enough to make the sequel, because why not? They've already taken the bucket to the cesspool 4 times for this sludge. I think the people who made this movie ought to be ashamed of them.
Well, we touched on this in our last video in much more detail, but let's just do a brief recap. The primary motivation seemed to be political. It never quite reached the level of the UK's video nasty scare, but there certainly was a strident backlash against gore movies during this period. Paramount being a major studio and all, it's easy to imagine them feeling a bit queasy about being the ones behind the most high-profile franchise of all within the universally despised slasher subgenre. The thing is though that Paramount's morals, if that's what you want to call it, are only as good as their profit margins, and the studio's resolve evaporated almost immediately when the box office returns from the final chapter started coming in. There was just too much money to be made.
Alright, and we're off. Let's go!
Of course, simply shooting another sequel and leaving it at that was obviously out of the question. Not after making such a big deal of the fact that they supposedly weren't going to be doing these movies anymore, so Paramount played what was probably the only card available to them under the circumstances, and followed Friday the 13th final chapter with Friday the 13th A New Beginning, promising some kind of a major shakeup in the series, and they delivered.
Part 2, The Absence of Jason Voorhees.
The story picks up several years after the events of the final chapter. Our protagonist, Tommy Jarvis, who killed Jason as a child, is now a troubled teenager.
Relax, Chief. What's wrong? No sense of humor? Can't you take a joke?
Traumatized by his past, Tommy is transferred to a halfway house for mentally disturbed youth. However, shortly after his arrival, a new wave of murders begins, and the mystery unfolds around whether Jason has somehow returned or if a new killer is on the loose. After introducing one of the most memorable twist endings with the original Friday the 13th, the series introduced a much more contentious twist just a few sequels later. You see, there was this fat kid who gets killed over a candy bar, and it turns out his father, Roy, didn't take too kindly to this and decided to don Jason's hockey mask and go on an impromptu killing spree. Yep, the actual Jason isn't actually in this movie at all. In the end, to one of our survivors, the sheriff explains why Roy went on this rampage, pulling random evidence out of his pocket like the crazy derelict who won't leave you alone at the train station.
Part 3, The Black Sheep.
It's no secret that this movie is often seen as the black sheep of the franchise, up there with movies like Phantasm Oblivion, Freddy's Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation, Halloween 3, and others.
They're all crazy!
You tell 'em, Ma!
One of the most significant reasons Part 5 was poorly received is that Jason Voorhees isn't the killer. After the highly successful final chapter, which promised to end Jason's story, fans were upset to find out that Jason hadn't returned. The decision to use Roy Burns, a copycat killer, disappointed many who expected Jason to continue his reign of terror. The twist of having a new killer wasn't well received at the time because it strayed simply too far from the established formula of Jason being the baddie.
What the hell's going on here?
You talking to me, Sheriff?
Part 4, The Redemption Arc.
Similar to the aforementioned Halloween 3, A New Beginning slowly built a cult following since audiences initially rejected it at the time of its release. In retrospect, the idea of shaking up the series and playing with audience expectations was a bold move. The film tried to explore a more psychological approach, playing on the trauma of the past via Tommy Jarvis and adding a mystery element. But audiences weren't ready for such a shift in the formula. In recent years, A New Beginning is seen in a new light. Many fans now appreciate its willingness to take risks, experiment with the formula, and focus more on the psychological toll of the Jason legend.
Boy, they've given him every treatment, every therapy they can think of. It's a wonder his mind isn't fried with all the drugs they've given him.
The film's grindhouse qualities, with its over-the-top kills and raw exploitation elements, have found a more appreciative audience. The film's twist on the identity of the killer, while disliked at the time, is now seen as an attempt to keep the franchise fresh by not relying entirely on Jason's presence.
Thank you.
Anytime, doll.
Part 5, The Supporting Cast.
When it comes to this series, everyone has their favorite entry, their favorite final girl, and their favorite Jason. It's always a hot button topic within the horror community and a fun debate. But what about all the many side characters that didn't quite make it to the end and served as either one of the film's kill count casualties along the way, or were merely placed there for pacing purposes?
Goody camp blood, ain't you? God damn it, Ralph, get out of here. Go on, get. Leave people alone.
You'll never come back again.
Oh, shut up, Ralph.
Aside from Crazy Ralph, all the best of these type of characters are found in this movie.
Say it like you mean it, Ma.
Would you shut the fuck up?
As far as comedic duos in the Friday franchise, there are none greater than Ethel and Junior.
That's it, my final words.
Tina is, well, perfect. Violet blesses us with one of the best dance sequences this side of a young Wednesday Addams. If you weren't trying to imitate this robot dance at some point or another, what were you even doing with your life?
Oh!
Hey, you okay?
Oh! Some damn enchiladas!
Oh. You gonna be alright?
Demon's appearance was brief but impactful, also probably the most quoted. After spending some quality time with his little brother and his girlfriend at the trailer park, Demon gets a case of the runs courtesy of some damn enchiladas and beats a path straight to the nearest outhouse. While Demon is on the porta potty, his girlfriend Anita begins shaking the outhouse. Demon doesn't find this funny at all.
Oh, lighten up, Demon. You'll feel a lot better after you shit.
Anita soothes him by cooing a song, a very simple tune whose only words appear to be, "Ooh baby" and "Hey baby." Demon reciprocates and in doing so, creates one of the most memorable non-horror moments of the series.
Ooh, baby. 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 Ooh, baby.
You know you're in the company of a like-minded Friday the 13th fan if you start singing this and someone completes it. Just a warning though, if you're not in the company of a like-minded fan, you'll just look like an idiot.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Oh, lighten up, Demon. You'll feel a lot better after you shit.
Ooh, baby.
The legacy of Friday the 13th: A New Beginning lies in its status as an ambitious but polarizing experiment within the beloved franchise. While it deviated from the Jason-centric formula that fans craved, its willingness to take risks and explore darker psychological themes has earned it a unique place in the series' history. But what say you? Do you love this movie? Do you hate this movie? Did it keep you away from enchiladas?
Oh, some damn enchiladas!
Leave all that in the comment section below.